Minnesota Timberwolves. Where do I start off with this team? They had a kind of a quiet year. They did pick up Kevin Martin from OKC. That's not a huge move, but it will help this team in particular. They lost Luke Reddenauer, who's so-so, and they picked up Kevin Martin, who's pretty good at some offense. He can hit in a three at will at any time he wants. You got you got Kevin Love up there still, if he can stay healthy for a year, and same with Ricky Rubio, who I really like as a point guard. I'm not sold on him yet, but I think he can put out in the NBA. I'm looking forward to him playing for a whole year and watching him and Rubio or Kevin Love. They got a decent center and Nikola Polkovic. I can't pronounce his name. I'm really bad at a pronunciation with some of these players from overseas. But at him now, I believe they also got Corey Brewer. That's a huge pickup for them. They got Chase Budinger still. So they got a pretty decent team. I don't know if they're playoff ready yet. Of course, with Kevin Love, you can't count them out. He's kind of fallen back in the All-Star status. He's still up there. He still has it. It's just with injuries with him. He's got to get there. He's got to produce. With having Ruby around him, that's only going to make him better. As long as they can all stay healthy, they're going to have a decent season. I'm going to say they go ahead and make the playoffs this year. It's going to be hard, but similar to the East, the West is kind of open toward the bottom. Once you get into the bottom six, it's going to be a little bit harder. They have to at least stay 500. If they can stay 500, they can probably make the playoffs. But now that the Lakers won't be making the playoffs, that's right, I said they're not going to make the playoffs. I'm going to put the Timberwolves up there where they do. I think they'll hit the 8th seed, maybe the 7th at the most. For the low for this team, I'm going to say they're at the 9th, the 10th. But I'm definitely going to call them a playoff team for now. And I'm looking forward to seeing Kevin Love to get back to where he was about 2 or 3 years ago. He's dropped off in the past 2 or 3 years with injuries, and they gave him all that money, and he just kind of disappeared. And I thought bringing in Ricky Rubio, this team was automatic, clinched for a playoff team, but it just didn't happen. But now they got Martin in there, they got Brewer, they got a few other players in there with them. They're pretty much solid at every position. Power forward, solid. Center, solid. Point guard, yeah, there's still some questions there, but if Rubio can, have a whole year under his belt and shoot a little bit better, he'll be unstoppable. He can pass almost as good as Rondo, but if he can start shooting, he'll be unstoppable. Shooting guard, you got Martin now. So I mean, for a small forward, they're pretty decent. So this team's got a lot of potential. They didn't lose a whole lot in the off season, but I mean, they didn't gain a whole lot either. But it balanced itself out. So I'm gonna say they make the playoffs. I don't think they'll get past the first round. They'll probably even get swept. It would surprise me, but uh, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing them in the playoffs. The first time since KG hasn't been there. But I don't know. I don't really know much about this team. The only reason I even know half the players on this team is because I follow Ricky Rubio, because I've liked him back when he was in overseas. Watched him at the Olympics. Now it got me really hyped up on him. But other than that, I don't really know what to say about them. I know they have all that racial stuff going on down there about how it's an all-white team or some stuff. That's kind of stupid. Well, they can't really talk about that much now because I mean they do have a few. They have a mixture of players in this team now, especially bringing in Corey Brewer. So they also got Derek Williams, I believe. That's going to be a decent lift for them. So I'm pretty excited to see how they play. They usually always beat by Celtics teams, and they're probably going to crush us now. I believe we had a pre-season game against them, and they dominated us. It was sad. But anyway, let me know what you think about the Minnesota Timberwolves. Till next time.